I don't have a university degree, but I have a personal brand that brought me more opportunities, more business in the end than anything else that I would have probably done. And the reason for that is simple. We are in 2026. Everyone is on the internet. Everyone is on social media. Everyone is scrolling on these devices. There is nothing that gives you more leverage than building your own personal brand. And the reason why this is so powerful is because of one single word: trust. Now, look, I've been doing this for over 10 years now. I have been creating content, building my own personal brand to 200,000 followers. I have made a bunch of money and opportunities came to me. And I can tell you this, the people that are building right now a personal brand, they will always outperform the ones that are not building a personal brand. And you can call it founder lab marketing. You can call it a brand only. The label, it doesn't matter. The fact is, you need to show up as a human being, as exactly who you are right now watching this video, and you need to start posting on the internet. You need to start communicating your ideas. You need to start getting into conversations, build your network, because that's ultimately the biggest leverage that you can have over anyone else right now that is not doing that. That's why people that are building a social brand, they always gonna have more business and more sales, even though the product might not even be that good, than someone that doesn't. Imagine you going to your favorite fruit store and you've been going there for a while and you kept going back to that fruit store instead of going to the supermarket where maybe the fruits are even less expensive than in this very specific fruit store. And the reason for that is simple. It's all about the experience that you get when you go there. It might be that when you enter, that the vendor is greeting you by name, or because it smells different than in a supermarket, and you just walk in there. It's a bit less, it's more tiny. It's more personal. It has maybe those exotic fruits that you wouldn't get in the supermarket. Everything is labeled differently with like a handwritten label instead of like, a digital QR code. Like everything in there makes you want to go back there because it associates the experience with the entire local store or fruit store that you chose to go and buy your fruits. And this is the same thing with personal branding. There are so many teaching, saying the same thing than the guy on the left and the girl on the right. The information is the same. We got AI today. Like the information is the same. Like it doesn't matter if I say this right now into this camera and you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is news to me. Probably not. Probably you've heard this like 17 times already that you need to build a personal brand. But there is a difference between me and 1,000 other people out there that are teaching the same thing or preaching the same thing. And that's where personal branding comes in. It is in the details. It makes you want to be guided by this specific person. You want to go and be like, hey, I want to really learn this stuff from this person and not from that person because we connect over golf, for example. I don't play golf, but that might be an example. Like maybe that account has just like shared a lot of golf stories, like here and there, obviously. And then it's like, oh, that's interesting. I like golf too. And now that is why you decide to go and do business with that person. It's because of the golf thing and not because the information that actually is going to be sold to you. So this is a very important thing to understand, that today with technology increasing rapidly, like every day we wake up and there is a new AI tool. And that's cool when it comes to efficiency and creativity in general. Like it scales things into a new direction. You can actually, really be a one person show, and you can do things that used to take 10 people, right? Like that's a beautiful thing. You can create an entire business today by yourself in an office like this with the tools that AI gives us. But because of that reason, there is also a huge influx now of copycats. Everything starts to look the same. Everyone starts to write the same. Thank you, ChatGPT. Everyone has the same maybe hooks even. Everyone is just kind of like just taking what has been working and puts it in their machine and spits that out again with a different profile picture. And this is where it gets actually interesting. Like if you would scroll down your feed right now and you would just see what people type on their LinkedIn, and you would block out or cover the name and the profile picture, and you would just kind of like trying to understand who would be that person behind that post without knowing who is posting that. I can almost guarantee to you that you would not be able to tell who just posted certain posts, because some of them are all identical from a writing perspective, from a delivery perspective, and even the idea behind it. So now it becomes like okay, everyone is just sharing these crazy thought-leading ideas in order to gain attention, in order to then sell a product. Now, this worked for a while now, and it's been working good for the ones that actually jumped on this quite early. But if you're just getting started now, there is no chance that you can compete with this. And this is where you need to figure out when you start building your personal brand. It's not just like the reason why this is important is because you have no chance to compete with people out there that are putting out content and actually start building their scaling their exposure, right? Like there is no chance for you to be like, yeah, I don't need a personal brand because I have other ways to reach people. That's good for you. But if that is not at least matching what other people are actually doing, then it's going to be super hard for someone without social media appearance or a social brand to convince the prospect to buy your service or product, because someone else has so many touch points that created this trust factor that we just talked about. Like it needs to have this trust factor. And this is incredibly difficult doing it not with social media these days. Always think about that. You are not the first one doing this. So you need to think outside of the box. And there are many tactical ways, obviously, to approach this. And these are important, like the hooks and strategies around your content, like commenting and all that. And this is something we can get into it in a different video. But the overall purpose of a personal brand and why it matters to your business today is really because of the trust factor. Because of all those AI agents and AI voices and everything sounding or starting to sound the same. The bar is so low right now to be different and to stand out because of these voices that are all sounding the same. It's incredible. Like you don't even need to do more than these people. You just need to be different and not follow the crowd. Like as someone that also traded actively in the past, I can tell you this, when a trade is crowded, like there is a lot of people speaking or talking about the same kind of trade. Like, yeah, this is going to go into that direction, to that price target. So that's why I'm going to enter this trade. If many people talk about the same thing, it's guaranteed not to happen because that's not how human psychology works. And the same thing is with content. If everything is already happening, if everything is already out there, and if everyone is doing the same thing, then you do not follow that. You pivot and you try to find an angle that is completely different, bold, also a bit risky, but on the side of risk, there is reward. You don't get reward on playing it safe. So always go like risk, bold, try something different, and I guarantee you there will be success on that side because people will recognize you differently. They will be like, damn, this is a pattern breaker. It's like, what is this? This is not the same as everything else, right? So very important to always think about like that you are not just following what other people are doing. Yes, the information behind whatever you want to sell, like if you're selling an information product, for example, then yes, it is going to be more or less the same information because that's how information is. Like information is quite absolute when it comes to like resources. Like it's out there. ChatGPT has everything. Everyone has access to that. It's nothing special. But the way it gets delivered, the way that you are going to consume something, the perspective and angle to this information and the implementation at the end of the day, that is why someone chooses this person over that person. And that starts with having a personal brand. That is not how it starts to first build a product and then trying to find product market fit and be like, why is there no buyers? Because you literally did not even go and figure out what your audience wants. You just had an idea, you spend a lot of time on that idea, and then the market humbled you and is like, hey, this actually, no one wants that idea. And then you spend a lot of resources and time maybe on something that no one wants. So it's not only a trust building leverage point, it's also a market research leverage point where you first can test ideas. You can talk to the people directly one-on-one or in the comments and figure out those patterns, like find those patterns where people are like having an issue or are challenged or have a question that you can answer. And this then becomes like this, okay, that's right there. That's going to be my offer. That's going to be my product. That's information product based, right? Of course, if you're going to have like, for example, you are into drawing, then you want to be out there providing tips and tricks to the audience that you learned yourself about a certain drawing skill or drawing style, for example. But it doesn't stop there. You will need to implement a different tone, maybe a personal anecdote, something that starts to connect with a specific target audience. It's all about that positioning that makes you now stand out in front of all those other people. And this is a whole topic, and we go into different areas of this whole journey in different videos. So make sure to subscribe. There will be a lot of content around this. Always remember one thing when you think about the personal brand aspect. You are not the first one doing this. You are not better not doing this. So if you think this is cringe, you already lost. I can guarantee you already lost the game against anyone. Like all those 20-year-old Gen Z people, they will own you because they understand where the attention is. They understand that the internet is it is the economy. It doesn't matter what you offer. It is the economy. That's where you reach the people, draw in the attention, and then ultimately starting to convert it into trust, and that trust starts to convert into sales, and then you start having a business. So just because you think you don't need this, let me tell you, the data is not on your side here. It's not, and it will never be probably going forward. So you better get going, better start to jump over that cringy thing and start putting out content and learn how to use that data that you now create, because every touch point creates feedback. Like you put in and you get out. And then you're like, okay, this performed better. That doesn't perform so well. I'm going to double down on this over the next few weeks and see where it goes and see what it does. It's a long-term journey. So that's how I quickly just wanted to also give you something that is more general based when it comes to personal brand. Again, there's a lot of nuances there, a lot of different angles. It's infinite. I love it. I will talk about this forever. but think about it from where you are right now if you struggle with your business and why you have no alternative in 2026. And LinkedIn, for this matter, any other platform works too. It depends on what you're offering or what your creative skill and interest is. Like if you are creating video, of course, you go to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc. But if you're a writer, there's no better place to do business right now than LinkedIn and build your personal brand. So make sure that you are going there and really approach it not from the LinkedIn 2015 lens, but from actually a social media perspective or an interest media perspective. And that's going to change the game for you. There is so many people not doing this still. And I can tell you, you will win long term if you start today. It will just get saturated and it will be less and less attractive or more like harder and harder every day, basically. I've built audiences on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, which then sums up to like 200K in total. And I know the game. I know how this works. But the lowest hanging fruit right now is LinkedIn. And I really want to encourage you to start taking that serious. With that being said, I see you in the next video. Subscribe, comment, let me know in the comments whatever you think as well is happening here in 2026 in terms of social media, and also what kind of videos you want to see in the future. Thank you and talk soon.